Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Before we begin, we're going to take a few moments to collect ourselves and to relax before we engage into our discussion. What we need to do is to focus now on bringing positive energy into our lives and into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We have all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our lives will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we can do this is by changing our outlook, meeting every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism, and once you do this, you will see a change in yourself. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life: family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons why your life is amazing. You will see the change. You will be changed. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful and think positive. The book Women of Courage is being dedicated to all of the women in this country raising children alone, without the benefit of the husband, the person designed by God as a steward of the family, and to all the women trying to live a righteous yet a more expressive and prosperous life. You will need extra care and extra consideration throughout your life. You will need to understand yourself and you will need to appreciate yourself, because the task of being the sole caregiver is not an easy task, nor is it a task greatly appreciated by this nation. Also, the task of living a life that is not a drone or not following the crowd to its destruction is also a very difficult task. Nevertheless, you work, plan, and strive to raise your children with a sense of dignity in an extremely hostile society. Some mothers wake in the morning to the fear of being late for work, and some mothers go to bed at night to the fear of an intruder. Some women experience their fear in the workplace, expecting to be fired at any moment. And some mothers are tormented throughout the day, wondering did anyone notice the condiments in their pocket or the toilet paper they put in their purse. Some mothers wonder did anyone notice the office supplies in their purse destined for their son at school. Some mothers wonder did anyone notice a few of the quarters were missing from the cash register that she used to ride the bus to work on before payday, because her daughter needed the last quarter for milk. All over this nation, there are mothers wondering how long they will be able to hold on and make it until the next day. I ask you to please stand, because you are the most important person in your child's life and you can make it. You can weather the storm, you can make it through the day. The most important thing in life is for you to live and maintain the life of your child. Every time you despair, remember Hagar. God saved her and he shall save you. God said, fear not. Do not let the fear of uncertainty control you. There is a way out of your dilemma or troubles. The way out is to learn to read and learn to read competently and then start going back to school. Fear will contaminate your faith if you allow fear to persist. You cannot let fear exist in your life. Whenever you feel fearful enveloping you, reach for the word of God to send fear from your life. If you tolerate fear in your life, it will contaminate your dreams and you will never walk in God's design for your life. You must always prophesy good fortune to yourself. Above all, you must never entertain the thought of killing yourself or your children. If you do, then you need to seek the help of a psychiatrist immediately. Suicide is an extremely selfish act. You cannot, under any circumstances, kill yourself or your children. The thought may creep into your mind, but push it out. Death is not an option. Go seek help from a psychiatrist. Yes, there may be no food in the house, but you must stand. There may be no lights or heat in the home, but you must stand. Every time you make tomato soup from ketchup, you must stand. Every time you steal toilet paper from the library stalls, you must stand. You are surviving by the power of your convictions. You have taken a position. Everyone needs a code that they can live by. You have made up your mind. You have said your children are worth suffering. You must endure. You have made the decision to carry your children into the future, to give them a chance at life. Nothing must come before this conviction. You must pray for strength. You must pray for guidance. And you must pray for a miracle. Never consider defeat. Do not be afraid, but be of good cheer. There is a God, and He is aware of the love you have in your heart for your child. Go to Him with your troubles, go to Him with your trials, and go to Him with your pain. He shall deliver you. When you accept God as your deliverer, it changes your mental posture. You will stop worrying and mind will be at ease. You will begin to anticipate. Instead of the confusion, ideas will come to you. Possibilities will come to you. One action committed in the act of possibilities can open the door to prosperity and life. Go take a course in real estate. Learn how to sell a house. This can help you learn to purchase a house for yourself. If not, go take a course in filing income tax. This will also help you personally, and you can do this part time. Stop listening to your stupid girlfriend and do what you have to do to protect your family. Rather than despair, you will begin to look for opportunities. You will begin to expect change, and you will begin to look for God to lead you in a specific direction. The greatest weapon the devil uses against a single woman is poverty. He tears at her self-esteem through her inability to provide for her child. He tears at her self-esteem when she sees her girlfriend's prosperity. He tears at her self-esteem when she cannot purchase a dress. Do not fall for this deceit. You did not create the poverty to surround you and your child. No one invites poverty into their child's life. You should never judge yourself by your inability to provide for your child. You do not have time for self-recrimination. Self-recrimination is a useless emotion. Recrimination is counterproductive. You must realize poverty is just a tool that is used to defeat men and women, to make men and women believe that a holy and righteous life is impossible. Poverty and ignorance are tools used by rich men to enslave his fellow man, keeping the rich man on top and the less fortunate on the bottom. Poverty is not an evaluation of your self-worth. Did you hear me? I said poverty is not an evaluation of your self-worth. Your conduct is an evaluation of your self-worth. You must keep yourself thinking positive about your future. Poverty is a tool that the devil uses to keep a constant supply of sinners populating the earth. These sinners unwittingly assist the devil in his mission to subjugate man, to make man beneath himself. People become sinners because they give into the temptation and they stop believing in the future. Poverty can be overwhelming, especially if you are uneducated and are not trained. Poverty can cause depression, diseases, and hopelessness. And poverty can cause a woman to make unwise decisions, such as allowing unrelated males to come into the house. Okay? No woman should allow an unrelated male into her home where he can harm her children. The devil uses poverty to plunge people into sexual sin, the sin that tears most of the body of Christ. Poverty can be defeated when you are persistent and are determined. You must respect yourself and you must respect the commitment you have made to motherhood. Every time you hold your child and comfort him or her, you are fulfilling your role as a mother. God's grace will be upon you. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Now for my break.
This right here, this is the moment right before the day starts when you get to look in the mirror and tell yourself who you are. Now, you've been through some dark days. I believe that. But all that pain and struggle, that made the person you're looking at now. So when you walk out of these doors today, I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to believe you are the strongest person walking this planet. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know the grind it took for you to be here. So when you leave here today, I need you to show them. What we need to focus on now is bringing positive energy into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We've all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our life will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we do this is by changing our outlook, leading every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism. And once you do this, you will see the change. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons of why your life is amazing. And once you do this, you will see the change. You will be the change. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful. And think positive. I think one thing we can all agree on is how important it is to find time in your life to grow with your personal development, your hobbies, with your profession, to step outside of your routine to explore. We cannot grow. We cannot expect change unless we are willing to try something new. And that's what I want you to focus on right now. Are you willing to step outside of your comfort zone? Are you willing to try something new regardless of the outcome? Because even when you try and you might not succeed, you still grow from the experience. That's what life is about. Being comfortable even when you're not comfortable. And I promise you, once you start to take those chances, you will begin to attract new opportunities into your life. But trust me, this step is never easy. But what you need to focus on is the end result. Are you content with staying the same, or are you looking for growth? Are you looking for change? Are you looking for opportunity? If you are, this is how you do it. You need to grow.
The Women of Courage Show broadcast on WHPR 88.1 FM every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. Please remember, if you are not in your car or near radio during our broadcast, we can be seen and heard on your computer if you go to TV33WHPR.com. Again, TV33WHPR.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page and click on the link WHPR 88.1 FM. We can also be heard on your phone if you download the free app WHPR TV Detroit Live, or listen to us on Roku at WHPR TV Detroit Live 88.1 FM. If you missed one of our broadcasts, you can view our archive on YouTube at the Touched by the Light Publishing channel. Twice a month on Saturday, I meet with my listeners for a discussion about issues affecting women. Please join us. For dates, times, and directions, you can reach us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Do not forget the dates September 14th and October 5th. Both of these dates are a Saturday. Rather than conduct our regular Saturday meetings, the Women of Courage Show is holding 2 workshops at the Southfield Pavilion in the multi-purpose room. The regular tickets for these events are $20. You can contact Renee of WHPR at 707-881-7363 for tickets and more information about the event and the vendor opportunities. This is going to be a spectacular event. You will not forget this experience. There is only one person in this state that, that can give a workshop like this. The last time she gave a workshop, it was for the Association of Black Social Workers at the Center on Woodward. During the workshop, not one word was spoken by anyone except by the narrator. And when the social workers left the workshop, there was not one handout left on the table. You will want to share this event with your friends and family. Bring your business cards to share. The Women of Courage show encourages women to respect other women and to support women in business. It is only when we work together that we win. Because of the city fire codes, these are limited capacity workshops. Please purchase your tickets early so you will not miss out on hearing from one of the world's most prolific writers. Our speaker is the only person in America who has researched the murders of more than 20,000 women. She was in college when Masters and Johnson published their 1957 to 1994 work on human sexuality. She vowed then that she would complete an equally important work. She accomplished this task between the ages of 57 and 69. Her research is entitled "Do This in Remembrance of Me." You will want to hear what this woman has to say. Remember, Renee of WHPR TV 33 can help you with tickets. God bless and keep believing. The best revenge against your enemy is for you to succeed. Women raising children alone feel rejected by society and by the man they once loved. Many women think, how could he reject me when I loved him and bore his child? If you answer this question to yourself with the answer, something must be wrong with me, you put yourself into an internal cauldron. You start to silently beat yourself up for poor performance, bad skin, or not doing enough to make him happy, which is stupid. Some women put on a smiling face to the world, but inside they feel neglected. You must realize that the man who rejected you had his own agenda, his own set of values and standards, and these values and standards did not necessarily have to agree with you or God. Before you begin heaping recrimination upon yourself or beating yourself up, you need to take a close look at your mate. He may not have been the man that you believed he was. Do not get caught up in the internal question of why did I not see these qualities in him before he and I became involved. Give yourself a break. You are not clairvoyant, where you can discern everyone's motive or hidden agenda. You made a mistake. You leaped before you looked. Accept this mistake and go on. Just do not lie to yourself. If you did not look before you leaped, accept your behavior and vow to begin looking at the behavior of men before you began any association with them. Tell your children to learn from your mistake and not become involved with anyone except through marriage. If you fail to look before you leap, next time use better self-control. Research his history. Do not just check to see if he's working. Find out how many jobs he had. Find out how many jobs he quit. And find out how many jobs he was fired from. Take a look at his mother. And take a look at his father. Look at their relationship. See who is dominating whom. Take a look at his siblings. Their conduct will tell you what your children will be exposed to, especially if his sister is prostituting and his brother is selling drugs or stealing to support himself. Always look for bad behavior. It will be hidden, but over time you can sniff it out. You cannot judge your self-worth based on your boyfriend's behavior or ex boyfriend's behavior. It is not your self worth that's the problem. It is the way that you are thinking when you accept the behaviors of these men. You cannot judge your self worth based on the behavior of these men. The men who rejected you were operating out of his own set of values. He may not have valued taking care of a child. He may not have valued building a family. Being honest may not be important to him. That's why he lied to you. Most of all, you are not responsible for his behavior. Feel better about yourself. You just failed to look before you leap. Next time, do not do this. Also, remember, most people do what is best for themselves. And if your husband or boyfriend runs true to form, he will do what is best for himself, including the adulterer Scott Peterson, or Michael John Fletcher of Michigan, or David Korn, or Mark Hacking, or James Knoll, or Nell Edworth. These are men who did what they wanted to do for themselves, which included killing their wives. Scott Peterson, Michael John Fletcher, and David Korn were adulterers who murdered their wives because they wanted out of the marriage, but they did not want to leave the marriage empty handed or pay child support. Miss Michelle Korn, age 35, had cerebral palsy and she used a wheelchair. The mistress of Miss Korn's husband saw her body in the woods days before anyone knew that Melissa Korn was dead. Mark Hacking, James Knoll, and Neil Earsworth were three men who lied to their wives and others, and to keep their lies from being revealed, they murdered their wives. So if your husband or boyfriend believes what is best for him involves sleeping late into the day, staying out late at night, or having extramarital relationships, then this is what your husband or boyfriend will do. What you must do as a woman is decide what is best for you. If you decide what is best for you is to stay at home and be miserable, listening in on his phone calls, checking his pager or cell phone, then this is what you will do. But if you decide what is best for you is to live in a sound, healthy environment, then you will leave and put some distance between you and your husband or boyfriend, severing all ties. You will probably should leave the state so that you and your children can remain safe. Next time, seek a man who honors his wife. Regardless of what decision you make, it will require you to change. Take a look in the mirror and ask yourself, who am I? Your answer should be, I am a child of God, made in his image, brought into this world to make a difference. Once you make this statement to yourself, get up off your knees and go make a difference in the world. One difference in the world you can make is raise a healthy, happy child. Here is a premise that must become a foundation in your life. Do not lie to yourself because, believe it or not, lies will spill out into your life and will affect your children. It will affect your success, your marriage, and all of your other relationships. Lying to yourself can make you vicious and mean. You will be forever in conflict internally and externally. You must not lie to yourself. You are intelligent. You know right from wrong, so stand up and act like it. The greatest pain single women experience deep down to the core of their psyche is the lack of self worth. This is especially true when you are a single mother or a divorced woman. The lack of self worth affects your ability to think clearly and concisely. Your lack of self worth is also augmented by your thoughts of rejection. Therefore, you must make an effort to forget the past and all thoughts of rejection. Good self-esteem is the gateway to good and healthy thoughts that will enhance your creativity and your productivity.
Life is too short for you to be unhappy. Life is too short for you to surround yourself with anything but positivity. And that's what we need to talk about now, dealing with toxic people. Now, we can't change all of our relationships, but we can change some. Some of us might come from families that are not supportive, and some of us come from families and have friends that are very supportive. And that's what we need to figure out now. Who is helping you? Who truly supports you as a person? Who wishes you all the success in the world? Those are the people you need to be around. Those are the people you need to stay connected with. I want you to think about 5 people that you talk to or hang out with the most. Of those 5 people, how many of them are positive influences on your life? How many of those people are helping you build the foundation to your success? And for the people who are not, are you willing to cut them out of your life? Is it worth having people around you that don't believe in you? Positive thoughts attract positive outcomes. And until you can change who you let around you and how much they influence you, you will continue down the same path. But the time is now. You can no longer let negative influences impact your goals. Your new chapter starts right now. Think about the positive people. Think about building with them, connecting with them, because they will be the positive influence that you need to help succeed in your life. They will be the driving force for you to live your best life.
I have an important question for you. Do you love Jesus? I mean, do you really love Jesus? Jesus said, "I was naked and you clothed me. I was sick and you visited me. I was in prison and you came to me." It's easy for us to live our daily lives and not think of those locked away in prison who need the love of Christ. Remember, Jesus died for them too. And there is a way you can extend his love to them right where you are, without a big sacrifice in time or money. And I'll tell you how in just a few moments from now. Often when men end up in prison, they are leaving families behind. We live in a time when there is a generation of children who often do not have a father at home for a variety of reasons. But when those fathers are in prison, we can reach them. You see, many men in prison are illiterate and not prepared for life on the outside of prison, which leads to reoffending, damage to our communities, and even further damage to the families they leave behind. You can be sure that they need to hear and accept the gospel as well. And we have something special that you can be a part of to address both of those issues. It's called The Wall. The Wall provides books to prisoners so that they can learn how to read and be better prepared for life in the real world. But what's more, these books share the gospel and practical information to help in various aspects of real life. The Wall addresses life today as well as our eternal hope for tomorrow. To make this project reach as many people as possible, your help is needed. A small donation will go a long way to get these books into the hands of people who need them the most. Imagine what it would be like to be in heaven and meet someone who told you that a book that you helped place in their hands was key to helping them for being prepared for life outside of prison. Help them be better husbands and fathers, and most importantly, led them to Christ. You can have that impact today. You may be watching this at your church today and possibly have a representative there right now. If so, open your heart and give what you can, and be sure to talk about sponsorship opportunities for a full book pack. If you are watching this online or in a setting without a representative, simply go to www.touchedbythelight.org and help make a difference right now that will make an impact for today as well as eternity.
Dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer in the hands of a million people? Please go to the website www.touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We are trying to reach a million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support. Remember, if you miss one of our shows, you can visit our YouTube channel at Touched by the Light Publishing to watch and listen to previous episodes of Women of Courage. Thank you. Do not dwell on the past. Do not dwell on the bad things that have happened to you in your life. Not dwelling on bad things means you are to forget the past. The past is dead. There is nothing you can do to go back and correct it. How can the past help you develop your future? Lamenting the past will make you sick and you will not be happy or nice to be around. If you go to bed every night extolling the past, you are sleeping with the dead. Clinging to the past will only activate anger and anxiety, two of the most self-defeating emotions. Give the past a memorial service and move on. Remember, fear activates the devil in your life, but faith brings God into your life. Fear comes from the undisciplined mind. Do not open the doorway of your mind to indecision and fear. You must begin to speak to yourself constantly throughout the day in affirming phases. Carry this book in your purse and select verses to read to yourself. Or put the book in the glove compartment of your car and refer to it during your lunch hour. You must expect God. That is correct. You must expect God. You must expect Him to show up in your life and to give you advice and favor. Tell yourself, this is a new day. Tell yourself, there is life, peace, and happiness in following Jesus Christ. Tell yourself, I have made Him the Lord of my life, and I believe I shall receive everything that I pray for. You must not get up every morning expecting defeat and failure in your life. You must expect getting a new job. You must expect being accepted in a university. You must accept good things happening to you. When you become a chronic pessimist, you have lost the battle. Your thinking has convinced you that life is not worth living, that nothing is going to change. Stop telling yourself, I have always been afraid. Begin telling yourself, I am no longer afraid of my future. My best days are ahead of me. Fear can create a barrier in your mind. You must cast down the wrong imaginations. Act and work and live by faith. You must believe you're going to survive and live a fruitful life. Please stop comparing your life to others. You don't know what kind of life other people are leading. I don't care if they're driving a Cadillac or living in a $300,000 house. You do not know what is going on inside of that house, so stop comparing yourself to them. When you are afraid, you are allowing the devil to create a stronghold in your mind. You have given him license to operate in your life. Because when you prophesize defeat for yourself, you are saying God's promise will not come to pass in your life. Rise in the morning saying, this is a great day for my children and I shall do well in this day, and I will pass down victory and long life to my children. Activate the power of God by your attitude of expectancy. God said, according to your faith, it shall be done unto you. You have to see yourself with a house and a car and happy children. Picture your dreams in your mind. Let this picture play over and over and over again until it is firmly planted in the soil of your mind. Believe you are going to receive what you pray. But you must also remember you have to stop associating with negative talking, negative acting, and negative people. These people will not help you receive all the blessings you want to come into your life. I don't care if these people are part of your family. If you have negative people in your family, then you need to sever relationships. I'm serious. You need to stay away from negative acting, negative talking, and negative doing people. Stop being afraid. Quit fearing the worst. Say to yourself, I believe every day my circumstances are getting better. God said he will renew your strength. I will not fail my children. Find the scripture that you need for the day and speak it to yourself. You are going to receive what you pray for. You must change what you think, and the outcome of your day will change. There is power in your thoughts. You cannot listen to the whispers of the devil when he says you are not going to make it, that you are a nobody, unworthy of love and affection. You are to read God's promise and believe. One thing you must understand about God's promises: his promises are actually prophecies, because God always speaks in the affirmative. He always says, I shall or I will. He never says maybe. The use of the words I shall and I will means that what he says is a certainty, a foregone conclusion. I too was a mother who raised a child in a hostile environment. I went to the Lord and he delivered me. I was working, but I was not making enough money to purchase a car and a house, so I had to take a second job, which meant that I had to bring my son home late at night around 11 o'clock, and I had to take my young son into the house, not knowing if someone would attack me as I was getting out my car. I too was worried and fearful, but I began to watch a program on TV about negative thinking, and I began to become stronger and stronger and stronger. Also, the only other thing that helped me is I was educated. I had a college degree. So I was able to teach myself other skills and trades. I began to work with real estate, and I began to work in income tax. These part-time jobs also helped me make money. I ended up working 7 days a week, but I survived. One day I received an eviction notice in the mail. I had no food, and my electricity was scheduled to be shut off. My phone was already off. A few days after receiving my eviction notice, I received a letter in the mail containing $100 and a note from a friend of mine living in another state. What is amazing about this note is my friend had sent me $60 a few days earlier to help me with my light bill. With the $100 my friend sent me, I had $830 to pay toward my rent. I owed $930. I decided to pay my rent instead of paying the light bill, because this way at least I'd have a place to stay. I would be living in a house without lights, but I would have a home. When I went to discuss my rent, the attorney said he knocked off $100 from my debt, so all I would owe would be $830. It's the exact amount that I had in my purse. That attorney did not have to take that $100 off so that I could pay my rent. A few days after my rent was paid, my sister came to my house and brought me half a slab of salmon, lettuce, peanuts, and melons. 2 days earlier, my sister had loaned me $100 to pay for my lights. I still have the copy of the note that my friend sent me. This happened over 20 years ago. With the help of two women, Lanice Eddington and Shafronia Castleberry, I survived the day. And they did not ask me to repay the money that they gave me. I know there is a God, and I count on him.
Having a goal or a plan to accomplish something isn't enough. You need to dig deeper than that. You need to tap into your subconscious to begin to reprogram your mind. And you do this through positive affirmations. Short statements that you repeat every day, regardless of your goal, how big or little. Whether your goal is to make more money, be a better boyfriend or girlfriend, or find a better job, whatever your goal is, you need to come up with short positive statements about that goal and repeat it each morning. Start by doing this for 5 minutes. And once you begin to do this, you will start to see how the subconscious and conscious mind can work together. You have the potential to do amazing things. And through positive affirmations, you start to build that confidence. Think of all the goals that you've made in the past. Think about the mindset you were in at that moment. It was one of confidence and control. I will be successful in my job. I will make my next promotion. I will meet the love of my life. These are words of affirmation. Now tell me, what are your words? Life is too short for you to be unhappy. Life is too short for you to surround yourself with anything but positivity. And that's what we need to talk about now, dealing with toxic people. Now, we can't change all of our relationships, but we can change some. Some of us might come from families that are not supportive, and some of us come from families and have friends that are very supportive. And that's what we need to figure out now. Who is helping you? Who truly supports you as a person? Who wishes you all the success in the world? Those are the people you need to be around. Those are the people you need to stay connected with. I want you to think about 5 people that you talk to or hang out with the most. Of those 5 people, how many of them are positive influences on your life? How many of those people are helping you build the foundation to your success? And for the people who are not, are you willing to cut them out of your life? Is it worth having people around you that don't believe in you? Positive thoughts attract positive outcomes. And until you can change who you let around you and how much they influence you, you will continue down the same path. But the time is now. You can no longer let negative influences impact your goals. Your new chapter starts right now. Think about the positive people. Think about building with them, connecting with them, because they will be the positive influence that you need to help succeed in your life. They will be the driving force for you to live your best life.
Twice a month on Saturday, I meet with my listeners for a discussion about issues affecting women. Join us. For dates, times, and directions, you can reach us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Stop thinking there's nothing you can do to change the world. Your life is important. For more information on our books or subjects discussed, email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com.
God's Encouraging Word is an excellent read. The author uses the dedication to bring everyone's attention to the many problems faced by single women raising children alone. The author lets everyone know single parenthood is not an easy task. In fact, it's one of the hardest jobs a person can have, raising children without the help of a partner. The book should help single women think twice about getting pregnant before marriage. Yet the author goes on to relate the life of a single parent to the numerous decisions that people have to make in their daily lives that bring despair and destruction. This book has a lot of twists and turns to bring everyone to the decision that the life they are leading is based on the way they think. And the only way to change one's life for the better is to change the way one thinks. The book explores our decision-making skills. Just how effective have you been at life based on the way that you make decisions? Are you living the lifestyle you dreamed of, or are you barely making it? Is your condition caused by the decisions you failed to make? The book forces the reader to consider other lifestyles. The book forces the reader to compare his or herself to the person they desire to be and the person that they actually are. Then the author says to the reader, what are you going to do about your situation? Are you going to sit and whimper, or are you going to stand up, face the day, and make changes in your life, especially needed changes? The book calls out fear as a debilitating force. The author makes us aware that running from fear does not help. It calls out the use of drugs, alcohol, and adultery as recreations against worry and fear. If you're trying to explain life to your children, this book is an excellent read for them. It is an eye-opener. Throughout the book, the author laces it with discussions of negative thinking. In some areas, she hammers away at the cost to oneself when we indulge in negative thinking. The author tells us that negative thinking is destructive. Our thoughts and values determine the way we see ourselves and the world around us. Thoughts and beliefs that are grounded in pessimism can negatively impact our feelings and emotions and mental health. These harmful perceptions are common issues that contribute to the symptoms of moods and anxiety disorders. We are told we must understand the dynamics of self-defeating beliefs, that our belief system is made up of our personal views, attitudes, and values. Our beliefs are always with us, shaping the way in which we see ourselves and the world around us. Self-defeating beliefs can set us up for failure and dissatisfaction. For instance, if it is your belief that your self-worth is solely determined by your accomplishments, you will only feel fulfillment when you are excelling at your career, achieving your goals. Otherwise, you will hit a pocket of despair. All in all, the book, the God's Encouraging Word, is a excellent read. It is truly a book that should be read by all pre-teenagers along with their parents. The book gives great insight into our development and how we think, how we problem solve, how we relate to others, how we seek jobs, how we seek friends, and it is an excellent insight into how we end up living our lives, whether we live our lives boldly or whether we run and hide from adversity every time a problem rears its head. Again, this is an excellent book for teenagers to read along with their parents.
Twice a month on Saturday, I meet with my listeners for a discussion about issues affecting women. Join us. For dates, times, and directions, you can reach us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Stop thinking there's nothing you can do to change the world. Your life is important. For more information on our books or subjects discussed, email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com.
Remember, if you miss one of our shows, you can visit our YouTube channel at Touched by the Light Publishing to watch and listen to previous episodes of Women of Courage. Thank you. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage and have a great day.